Alright, well it is safe to say that the last 8, 24, and 48 hours has been quite interesting for the southeast when it comes to seismic activity. You are in fact looking at 23, 24 different reported seismic events by actual people reporting on Volcano Discovery who have felt the ground shake over the last 48 hours. Now, one thing that sticks out to me right away is South Carolina. Since December of 2021, we've been getting these rare earthquake swarms that have lasted days, weeks, and even some cases months. And a lot of the time, we are not getting all the data we should be. Now, very quickly, I just want to say, please excuse my voice. It's a little hoarse. I came down with a little bit of a cold, but don't worry, it is not this. As you can see, just a little cold, no big deal. But this is quite interesting as different earthquake measuring sites are showing drastically different sets of data. But what's important to understand is that we actually have human beings, people actually getting online and reporting these shakes. Now, some of them are sonic booms. We've done plenty of videos where we've used Volcano Discovery to track meteor explosions and things of that nature, but this grouping right here within such a short period of time is definitely not something to ignore. In fact, this is not hard to find at all. We could do a simple Google search and see that just in the past year alone, we've had the largest swarms of earthquakes in the South Carolina region and the surrounding areas that we've ever seen in some cases. So to ignore this swarm that we're seeing right now that we haven't seen in a little bit would simply be just wrong in my opinion. Now I hate to keep videos too short, but I definitely need to give my voice a rest for tomorrow morning's video. But we need to take a look at the GFS very quickly because we're looking at 1 day all magnitudes and we don't see a single thing in the southeast. Now with that said, we can go to 7 days all magnitudes and all we get is one South Carolina earthquake of 1.3 in magnitude, 6 kilometers east-southeast of Elgin. Now we do have a few to the north here, but we're focusing on this area because there was such a cluster on Volcano Discovery that it just can't be ignored. There wouldn't be that many sonic booms going on, especially with the reports that people are leaving. I'm going to leave the link to Volcano Discovery in the description box so you guys can go read those yourselves. People are actually feeling the ground shake, things on their walls shaking. These aren't massive earthquakes, but the fact that we're getting another large swarm in this area is what's concerning. And don't you forget for 1 second that we have the New Madrid fault line, which is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the San Andreas fault line that runs along the west coast of the United States. And you can see the drastic difference when it comes to what the GFS reports on the west coast compared to the east coast. And one more thing I wanted to point out is that solar activity is at quite a minimum right now. We are not seeing a lot of action from the sun over the last few days. In fact, as you just saw that update right there, we did have a tiny little flare shoot off the bottom right quadrant there, but that should not be earth facing. We do have a set of sunspots that will in the coming days make their way towards just south of the equator of the sun. Basically picture that earth right around there. So these sunspots would in fact affect earth once they make it to this area and if they eject those CMEs. We could also see here on the awesome website that Suspicious Observers provides for us that we have not had anything even close to an M-class flare since October 16th, and our solar wind, as you can see down here, is down around 400 to 500 kilometers per second. Now, we did have some spikes around the 17th. Those came and went fairly quickly, but we need to keep this in mind when trying to understand why this swarm is even taking place to begin with. If not the sun, then what? What is going on underneath the ground of the Southeast and South Carolina specifically? My friends, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video and putting up with my scratchy voice this evening. We will do a lot better tomorrow. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to the southeast of the United States. What is going on? We will be back tomorrow to talk about this and other things that go on around this crazy world that we live in. I hope you're all well. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.